everybody, and welcome to Couch Football. I'm your host, Levi, and Camden is also here with me, co-host, of course. Today we're going to be talking about each team's most intriguing players, maybe a breakout player or just a player to watch, and we are going to get started right away. Camden, how are we feeling today?
Feeling pretty good, man. Excited to be here. Just kind of go over things. Some teams we're going to have one player because we just both thought the same. Both thought the same guy was the most intriguing player on the team, but other teams going to have two, a couple. So
it's going to be interesting to watch. Of course, make sure you stick around until your favorite team is announced, and even past that. You gotta know around the league what's going on.
Yeah.
But we are going to start in the AFC East, kind of a random spot to start, but that's besides the point. We got the Bills right away, and looks like both Camden and I agreed on James Cook, specifically because of the contract situation. Of course, he's kind of holding out and then practicing, and then holding out and then practicing, because he's waiting to get paid, and it's going to be interesting to see if he gets actually paid the amount of money he wants, or if they just ended up saying, screw you,
Yeah. I mean, holding out is virtually impossible these days, so I'm assuming he's probably going to play before he gets a second contract. But whether he gets paid or not, it's going to depend a lot on this season. If he stays healthy, if he produces. Bills have Frank Gore Jr. in the backfield.
Oh,
so,
God.
I mean,
that's all
there's
you
competition.
need.
So,
but yeah, they also have Ray Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they drafted, last year. So you never know if they like them. They might move on from James Cook, but I doubt it, to be honest. But I think that is the most intriguing piece about the Bills, because they are the Bills. They're really good. And now we're moving on to the Dolphins. Kind of an interesting one to start here, Malik Washington, a name that not many people probably know about.
No.
So I was the one who thought of Malik Washington specifically because of the Tyreek Hill situation and just the major question marks regarding just the Dolphins offense and team in general. I was thinking if they move on from Tyreek Hill, which in my opinion, I think is a real possibility, because of, just the dispute, the disagreements between each other, just the organization in general with Tyreek Hill. I think Malik Washington is going to be the guy that takes that next step for the Dolphins if Tyreek Hill moves on. So that would be my kind of player to watch based off of the Tyreek Hill situation. So
yeah, honestly, for me, Dolphins, they don't got much. It's pretty bare bone. Dolphins not looking too optimistic this year. I mean, their defense should be okay. Their pass rush should be good, but I mean, if Tua stays healthy, maybe they'll be good. But I don't know. I gotta see it before I believe it.
It really depends, because I know Devon Achane, he's gonna be a beast. However, he's had some injury issues in the past. He was fine last year, but just really depends on if this offense can get hot and if Tua can stay healthy, I would say, is the main things. And then now we're going on to the Patriots. We're trying to go pretty fast here because we had to go through 32 teams in a fairly timely manner, because we have a Vikings game we have to watch. Vikings preseason game we were watching after this. So we are going to go to the New England Patriots. Of course, they have some really intriguing young pieces, obviously Drake May, but more so we are going to target Kyle Williams and TreVeyon Henderson, as we both seen TreVeyon Henderson yesterday. Man.
He blew it out of the park.
It was crazy.
I mean,
he just trucked the crap out of two guys, 100-yard kick return touchdown. The first time he was in an NFL game, obviously not the regular season, but still return touchdowns, impressive. And
I mean, first touch for 100 yards.
Yeah.
Can't get much better than that.
That's amazing. I specifically highlight Kyle Williams because he's a third-round pick, and more so for fantasy purposes, fantasy football, dynasty leagues, I think he is a major target not a lot of people are talking about, because the Patriots just don't have a lot of pass catchers, in my opinion. Nobody's really standing out outside of maybe Stephon Diggs, but he's getting older. And if I'm a fantasy football owner of a team, I'm taking Kyle Williams because I want to be attached to Drake May for the next 10 years at receiver. So I'm hoping that ends up working out. Obviously, Jalen Polk didn't really work out last year. So,
not quite.
Yeah. But what are your thoughts on those two players.
Yeah, Kyle Williams would be interesting to watch. I mean, pretty interesting prospect coming out of college. Went to Washington State, I believe.
Yep.
A lot of potential. But for me personally, Trayvon Henderson, he's a dog. Like, I know they got Ramondre Stevenson, but I feel like you can't keep Trayvon Henderson off the field. I feel like he's going to be on the field. Fantasy-wise, I feel like he's going to be great value. But it'd be interesting to see how these two rookies turn out.
I mean, when it comes to Mike Vrabel, he likes to keep his veterans on the field. He likes to start veterans, and then I'm sure Trayvon Henderson's going to work his way into the starting lineup within the first few weeks, I'm assuming. And he's just going to be an absolute demon in the pass game, like monster. Now on to the Jets. We have Mason Taylor and Justin Fields. Mason Taylor, once again, somebody you might not have heard of before, but he is a rookie tight end from LSU drafted in the second round. I'm a big fan of Mason Taylor. So was Daniel Jeremiah, of course. That's the guy I like to follow, listen to all the time. And especially outside of Garrett Wilson, there's really nobody on the Jets outside of maybe Breece Hall in terms of like the pass game.
Yeah, Justin Fields, the past few seasons, there's been a theme. One quarterback usually will resurrect his career, with a new team. You look at Geno Smith with the Seahawks, Baker Mayfield with the Buccaneers, Sam Darnold with the Vikings. I think this year it's Justin Fields with the Jets. It just makes sense. You're reuniting him with Garrett Wilson, new head coach with Aaron Glenn. Hopefully he'll get that defense right. I think they could maybe be an outside shot of a playoff team if that defense can get right.
Okay.
But I believe in Justin Fields still. I think the Bears gave up on him too quickly. I don't blame them for taking Caleb with the number one pick, but I think there's still more to be desired with Justin Fields.
I could definitely see that happening. He's just got to use his legs. He's just got to use his strengths and just trust the process. Definitely a possibility. I don't know about the playoffs, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
On to the AFC North now. We have the Ravens to start off with, and Camdyn and I both disagree. We both agreed Malachi Starks is the player to watch. First-round pick, safety out of Georgia. Everybody seems to have loved the fit for the Ravens. He's going to come in, plug-and-play starter. I'm just excited more so to be like, is he going to help solidify that defense in the back end? And is he going to be that star player that he was in college? That's kind of where I'm at here. And gosh, the Ravens are good. The Ravens are good. They might.
Especially that defense.
Yeah.
I mean, it is loaded. Malachi Starks, I mean, he's a great prospect coming out of college. I would have loved if the Vikings would have taken him at 23.
Talked about it, yeah.
Or 24, whenever they took him. But it'll be really interesting to see how the Ravens use him on defense because he can do a lot of different things.
He can play anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm most looking forward to see how they use him.
Now on to the Bengals. Once again, both Camdyn and I agreed. Shamar Stewart. I think he is going to either make or break the Bengals defense this year. Obviously, that's hard when it's a rookie defensive end, edge rusher, whatever you want to call him. More so because of the whole Trey Hendrickson situation. We're not 100% sure what's going to happen. And they took him in the first round. Bengals defense was absolutely god-awful, horrible last year. So if Shamar Stewart can come in and play some really good football alongside Trey Hendrickson, then that could be a serious situation where, they go from a bottom defense up to where they're at least competent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Shamar Stewart, he had that little contract scuffle with the Bengals, but they got that worked out, practicing, back in the team now. Like you said, big part of it is going to be Trey Hendrickson. If they can get both of those two in the D-line, maybe they could get that defense going. But right now, Trey Hendrickson's still on that side, so it's going to be all up to Shamar Stewart to kind of lead that defense as a rookie, which is a lot of pressure.
Oh, man. Especially coming in as a raw prospect. Too.
Yeah, super raw.
Ooh.
I mean.
So that's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be boom or bust with this guy. So if they hit that lotto ticket, though, it's going to be a problem for the AFC North for years to come.
Now on to the Browns. This one is a little bit hectic. We have 3 players that we're going to talk about here, mainly because 2 of them kind of go together in the same backfield. But we're going to start with Jerry Jeudy. I think he is a major player to watch because he kind of had that little mini breakout last year where when, gosh, I don't even remember what quarterback came in. Somebody came in and they started playing good football. But Jerry Jeudy obviously is the number one wide receiver for the Browns. And whoever's throwing him the ball, you just hope that Jerry Jeudy takes that next step and breaks out fully just because they need talent. Like, they need pass catchers to be competent on offense. Obviously, they need a quarterback, but, they have at least 4 chances at quarterback, so maybe one of them is decent. And then Dylan Sampson / Quinshon Judkins. Of course, the whole situation with Judkins still has not signed yet. So, with that being said, Dylan Sampson, he's going to have to be the guy unless Judkins, ends up getting signed, but he's going to have a suspension that he's facing, whether that's this year or next year. Sampson was my favorite running back, actually, going into the draft.
Really?
So it's going to be interesting. I'm excited.
Yeah, I went Dylan Sampson in this spot mainly because of what's happening with Quinshon Judkins. When the Browns drafted Judkins, everyone expected for him to be the guy.
Yep.
Then you have legal troubles, and he's still not signed. So now it doesn't even look like he's going to play at all, as of right now, honestly. So Dylan Sampson's going to be their number one guy in the backfield, so he's going to be a huge guy to watch. Rookie out of Tennessee. See how that works out, I guess.
He was the SEC Player of the Year, I believe. Yeah. So, he's not anything to slump at. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
One more thing I will add with the Browns, though. The reason I did not pick Jerry Jeudy, against the Broncos last year in his revenge game, 9 for 235 and a touchdown. I mean, that is insane. In my opinion, he's already broken out. So that's why I just didn't put him as an intriguing player to watch because I feel like he's already reached that level of greatness.
Okay, now on to the Steelers. We're going back to, some veterans. We're not sticking with the young guns. Yeah. We are going with Jalen Ramsey and DK Metcalf, the 2 new people on the team, actually, which is kind of surprising. Mm-hmm. Ramsey is going to be kind of their Swiss Army knife in the back end of that defense, hopefully solidifying the pass game, helping them just be a solid defense. Mm-hmm. I think they could be a top end defense, especially with TJ Watt being signed, and you still have Cam Hayward. However, there's now some contract issues with him. Decent defense, but now on the offensive side, you have Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, Caleb Johnson now at running back. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of new faces there. Going to be very exciting, but for me, I think DK Metcalf, big contract. They're expecting big things out of him. I think he's going to have a major season, especially with Aaron Rodgers thrown to him. I expect maybe 1,300 yards out of him. I could see that happening.
Yeah, that's the thing I was most intrigued about with the Steelers is how are they going to use DK Metcalf? How productive is he going to be in this new offense? Or not new offense, I should say, but in this new offense for him. Because they still have Arthur Smith as their OC. Yeah, I mean, Arthur Smith and
good
Falcons.
Luck, Steelers fans.
Yeah,
Have fun
you
with
really
that.
don't know. I mean, I'm not too optimistic,
God.
But maybe. I mean, he's got the talent. Aaron Rodgers, veteran quarterback. I'm sure they're going to get him the ball as much as possible. So, in terms of guy who's probably going to get a lot of targets, I feel like DK could be that guy, or he could be used like Kyle Pitts and just not exist. So, we'll see.
Yeah, you never know. All right. Now on to the AFC South. We have the Texans. Starting off, they had a little bit of a down year, I would say, last year compared to their first year under DeMeco Ryans.
Yeah, I mean, still won a playoff game last year. I mean, still made it as far in the playoffs as they did the first year. But in terms of the season, they did have kind of a down year, mainly because of injuries. You look at Stephon Diggs, you look at Tank Dell,
Now, back to the young guns. We're going back. We have Woody Marks and Jaden Higgins. I was going to pick Jaden Higgins, but I wanted to go with somebody a little bit more under the radar. I know he's getting a little bit more buzz recently because of Joe Mixon getting injured and Nick Chubb losing a step, apparently, old hag back there. But Woody Marks, rookie out of Texas Tech. So it's going to be interesting watching him play. Got some talent. I think it was a 4th-round pick, I believe. And then Jaden Higgins, another rookie, with a second-round pick,
Mhm.
potentially first-round pick people are talking about.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see how he performs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I chose Jaden Higgins mainly because you look at Tank Dell, he was hurt. Nico Collins was hurt last year at some times. He missed some games. So he could really just slide in and become an absolute demon in this offense with CJ Stroud.
I think I seen something yesterday about how Nico Collins has actually never played, or maybe one season he's had that was fully healthy.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite remember which one, but regardless, something to kind of monitor, because behind him you have two young receivers, two rookies, and then Christian Kirk, who is kind of starting to decline a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'll see how he performs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on to the Colts. Cam Bynum, obviously a new guy from the Vikings. And then Anthony Richardson, of course. The big conversation, big topic is, can he figure it out? No, he can't.
I don't know.
Doesn't look like it, no. Watched the preseason game, and he got taken out of the game because he dislocated his pinky.
Yep. I mean, he played, like a handful of snaps and already had to get out of the game.
Yeah, I think it was a second drive or
Yeah,
something.
not a good start, especially having injury problems throughout his career and just like...
I thought he maybe just got hit a little hard and he wanted to run off and put the backup in, just like when he got too tired.
Yeah.
God, that is so weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
A quarterback getting subbed out.
Yeah, for a fourth overall pick, this is definitely probably a bust in my book by now. I mean, the fact that you're even bringing in Daniel Jones for competition.
Yeah.
I mean,
Man, I'm so excited.
The writing's on the wall. I think Anthony Richardson's going to be done with the Colts after this year, or maybe not even after this year. Maybe mid-season. Could be a Daniel Jones situation where he just gets released mid-season, but you never know.
And then Cam Bynum's obviously intriguing. Just he's a good glue guy for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's a team player, but also he can force turnovers and he can dance.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He is a dancer.
On to the Jaguars, we got the Law, Trevor Lawrence, and Travis Hunter. Of course, Hunter, big storyline is, can he play both sides? Camdyn, what are your thoughts?
I am really intrigued to see how much he's going to play and how good he's going to be when he does play. Now, I think that they should use him more on defense than on offense, primarily because you already got Brian Thomas Jr. on offense, so you already have that elite wide receiver. Defense, you don't really have that guy. You don't really have that star cornerback. I feel like that's a place where Travis Hunter could shine. You could still play him on offense in certain packages, get him on the field, get him a dozen snaps a game on offense, something like that. But I think they should really allow him to shine on defense.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people say he's more naturally a cornerback compared to a receiver, but he's just got so much talent, and Trevor Lawrence really needs help to break out. It seems like he's just really struggled to find his way in the NFL. So I think when it comes to Travis Hunter, got to give him a chance to play both sides like they're doing currently. And if he struggles, then maybe switch it up and try to focus on something. And then maybe later in his career, he can develop over time into that other position. But on to the Titans, little rookie combination. Quarterback wide receiver here with Cam Ward and Alec Ayomanor. I am a huge fan of Alec Ayomanor. He was one of my favorite receivers in the draft, but just a fourth-round pick. Or fifth-round pick. I can't even remember now, honestly.
Yeah, it was a later
Might have been a fifth-round pick now that I think about it. Out of Stanford. Everybody likes to talk about the game where he was against Travis Hunter and almost went for 300 yards and broke the receiving yards record at Stanford in a game. Got a lot of talent. More so, he's got size, and he is I think he just turned 22. Young. I would say he's got a lot of potential to be a Nico Collins type. Not going to say he's going to be Nico Collins, but he's definitely got the size, the speed, very similar profiles. And then Cam Ward, of course, the number one pick in the draft that nobody talks about.
Yeah, I mean, Titans' success is going to run through Cam Ward. If Cam Ward plays well, the Titans are going to win more games. I mean, it just comes down to that. For being number one overall pick as a quarterback, there's going to be a lot of pressure on you, especially coming into an organization that is down in the dumps, as you could say. Yeah, I mean, it all runs through Cam Ward. If he's going to be good, Titans are going to be maybe competitive. But if he's going to be bad, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, it's just I feel like Cam Ward, he's got so much experience in college where I feel like it's going to be a Jaden Daniels situation. He might not be as good as Jaden Daniels was, obviously, as a rookie, but I think he will have a good rookie season. It might not be elite, but definitely show signs of potential, of talent, and then the year after, maybe he takes that next step. But now on to the AFC West, the Broncos, Pat Bryant and RJ Harvey. Pat Bryant, 4th round wide receiver. RJ Harvey, 2nd round running back, which is kind of a surprise in the draft. What are your thoughts on RJ Harvey?
I mean, Broncos kind of looking for that, running back one, that elite running back in their backfield. Their offense is still pretty good, especially through the passing game with Bo Nix and Sean Payton. But RJ Harvey, really intriguing. If they use him properly, he could become a huge threat. I feel like he could get a lot of touches. Could maybe get some fantasy value out of him if if they use him a lot on the goal line packages, try to feed him the ball, get him some touchdowns. Maybe they'll use him the same way Sean Payton used Alvin Kamara in New Orleans, just constantly feeding him the ball. So I'm just interested to see how that's going to work out and kind of just follow that.
When it comes to Sean Payton, we always see him go with, we got a bruiser and we got a 3rd down back or just receiving back in general. Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram type combination. I think that's why they brought J.K. Dobbins in. A little bit of a bigger back, but he has speed. I think Dobbins is going to be the main, punch guy. RJ Harvey is going to be the speed guy, the receiving back. I'm excited to see how they use him. But when it comes to fantasy value, definitely take a look at RJ Harvey, in Dynasty especially.
Or if you're just in like a larger league, say you're in like a 12, 14, 16-man league where there's not going to be as many top-end running backs available, look at some of those running back twos. RJ Harvey could be a good guy to pick up.
Now the Chiefs, surprisingly, I thought you would have another one here because I went really deep down and figured out the player I wanted to talk about, and that is Omar Norman-Lott. Another player that a lot of people probably don't know much about unless they are into the NFL draft. I can't remember what round he was, 4th maybe or 3rd.
4th sounds right, I think.
Something like that. Defensive tackle for the Chiefs. My thought process is Chris Jones, definitely at least towards on the way out, older guy. And Norman-Lott out of Tennessee, I think he has a ton of potential. He just hasn't quite put it all together yet. And I'm hoping that, well, honestly, I don't really want the Chiefs to be that good, but I'm hoping when I'm talking about him is he's going to take that step. Maybe not this year, but next year, I would say. It's going to take him a little while to develop into replacing Chris Jones when he inevitably retires.
So he was a 2nd-round pick, 63rd overall, so we were way off. But, kind of just looking to see. I don't know how much playing time he's going to get just because you got George Karlaftis, you got Chris Jones. That D-line's pretty good. So probably going to be buried on the depth chart. Honestly, the Chiefs don't really have a lot of intriguing players. A lot of their team is pretty much the same as last year. I mean, they don't really have much new guys. Yeah, I mean, they just Omar Norman-Lott. He's an interesting prospect. He's a really good player in college. Would have liked if the Vikings got him, but I just kind of see how he turns out. Maybe he'll turn into something. Kind of just got to see how much playing time he's going to get once Chris Jones is gone, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Now the Raiders, Dante Thornton. Tons of hype right now about him because he's a big receiver that can run fast. That's the classic, what everybody wants, just like DK Metcalf. Christian Watson was the same way, but Thornton was drafted at a discount because he didn't really do a ton in college at Tennessee. I believe this one was a 4th-round pick. Not Norman-Lott, but this one. They did draft Jack Besh in the 2nd round, so that's probably going to hinder him a little bit. However, I believe the different style receivers. Besh is going to be your more physical, shorter yardage receiver. Thornton's going to threaten over the top right away. I would assume he's going to start pretty much right away just because they don't really have a true speedster outside of maybe Trey Tucker, but he hasn't really panned out.
Yeah, the Raiders don't really have a star wide receiver. They have decent guys, like you said, like Trey Tucker. You got Jack Besh, see how he turns out. Could be the next Hunter Renfrow. But in terms of guys that could really break out in the Raiders offense, it's a wide open field. I mean, it could be anybody. So I think Dante Thornton, rookie, just the potential's there, speed's there. Geno Smith can just toss it up like he did with DK.
Yep.
Try and get things going, try and get things working.
And then, lastly, we have the Chargers, Keandre Lambert-Smith and Omarion Hampton. More rookies, because we love talking about rookies here.
Oh, yeah.
For me, I put Lambert-Smith because he's just, once again, just like Thornton, tons of hype recently, and he looked amazing in the Hall of Fame game. I think he had 40 yards and a touchdown. I mean, the hype is real, in my opinion. I could definitely see him getting more playing time over Trey Harris at some point. Maybe not necessarily right away just because of the draft capital. They probably want to give the higher pick, more of a shot. And I'm not saying Trey Harris is bad, but I think Lambert-Smith is just a seriously underrated player and underappreciated player.
Sure. Omarion Hampton, I mean, look, we know Jim Harbaugh likes to run the football, all right?
He's going to run the damn ball.
Yeah. So you get an elite running back talent out of North Carolina. I mean, this dude, honestly, the Vikings would have taken him. I wouldn't have been too mad.
I would have been happy.
Potential is there. But, I mean, just getting him in a run-first offense, just feeding him the rock, I mean, it's going to be a breakout year, probably right away. I mean, 1,000 yards, dozen touchdowns, something like that. I mean, potential's there. He's in a scheme that fits him well.
Yeah.
I don't see why it shouldn't work out.
He's got tons of talent, and just like you said, everybody was saying, oh, this is just the perfect fit for Jim Harbaugh and that Chargers offense. So it's going to be really exciting. This video is running a little long, so I think we should split it up.
Split it up, yeah.
So we got AFC version. The next video, I'll probably post it probably a day or two later than this one. We'll be talking about the NFC's most intriguing players. Just because video's running a little long, we like to keep it around that 20-minute mark, ideally. So we are going to end this video here. Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. And obviously some other intriguing players that you guys want to talk about in the comments. I'll respond, of course. And make sure you like, subscribe if you enjoy the show. And we got some more content coming for you in the future. See you guys in the next one.